impeach the governor, and 16 did not vote, which equivalents that number to 47. A very straightforward situation, Mr. Speaker. If 23 senators vote to impeach a governor, 23 vote not to impeach, and 1 abstains, then the governor is not impeached. What is clear, Mr. Speaker, is that the decision on this PO is a decision by the senators. Even when we shall be voting for the next big assignment on Thursday, Mr. Speaker, 2/3 is equivalent to 44.6. The required number is not 44, but 45. In the event...
Senator Nduati. Senator Nduati. Veronica.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the issues at hand, the preliminary points that have been raised, and application. At the very onset, Mr. Speaker, I would encourage you not to take the bait of having to determine what happened.
Is your time up?
No. I've not even spoken for 20 seconds.
Proceed then.
Mr. Speaker, I was saying that I would persuade you not to take the bait of having to determine these preliminary points or applications for 2 reasons, Mr. Speaker. They raise such fundamental and weighty points of law, Mr. Speaker, and some have, of course, raised issues of fact, whether service was effected or not effected. Mr. Speaker, if you were to determine these issues, it would bring to a determination of the entire impeachment proceeding. That means you would have abrogated yourself the function of what the Senate is supposed to be doing. Consequently, you should bring these points to a vote by the House, Mr. Speaker, and by the honorable members of Senate. 2, Mr. Speaker, there was an application on the issue of a protection of a witness, a key witness in these proceedings, Mr. Speaker. It's my very considered opinion, Mr. Speaker, that protection should be afforded to a witness who feels vulnerable, Mr. Speaker, because of the nature of the offenses that have been brought forth, Mr. Speaker. But while giving that protection to this witness, Mr. Speaker, there must be a balance as to how that protection is given. For instance, Mr. Speaker, and if you are guided by the Witness Protection Act, Mr. Speaker, we could take off the proceedings from camera with respect to that witness, but ensure that senators have an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to hear the kind of allegations so that you balance between the witness not being hidden away from the accused governor, Mr. Speaker, and the senators who are supposed to be judges, but you also ensure that the witness is not exposed to an extent that reputational damage would appear or would occur, Mr. Speaker, in the event that the evidence she's adducing is true, and whether that evidence is true or not will be determined after the witness has been heard. So we should balance the 2, Mr. Speaker, but ensure that the witness is protected because of the nature of the offenses, Mr. Speaker. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I would urge you to allow the senators to vote on this. I will not...
Senator Munyihaji Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Kimsingi ni kwamba mawakili wa gavana wanataka masuala haya yaamuliwe kabla ya kusikizwa kwa mashtaka ambayo yameletwa hapa na Assembly ya Kericho. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiangalia bunge la Senate linapokaa kuangalia masuala ya impeachment ni kama mahakama, na katiba yetu inasema katika kifungu cha 159 ni kwamba mahakama zinapokaa haki iamuliwe bila ya kuzingatia masuala magumu ya procedure na vile vile pia kiteknikali. if I may read it in English, Mr. Speaker, is that justice shall be administered without undue...
Senator Faki, choose the language you'd wish to
for
make
the benefit of the... Samani, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
You started in Kiswahili, proceed in Kiswahili.
Samani, Mheshimiwa Speaker. Kwa hivyo na Mheshimiwa Speaker, swala lililoko mbele ya bunge hili la Seneti ni kwamba Seneti iamue masuala ambayo yamefikishwa mbele yake bila ya kuzingatia mambo ya kiteknikali, kwa sababu tunapozingatia mambo ya kiteknikali tutapoteza ile fursa ya kuweza kutenda haki ya kimsingi. Jambo la pili, Mheshimiwa Speaker, ni kwamba bunge la Senate linapiga kura kutokana na masuala ya delegation. Kwa hivyo hili ni swala ambalo linaathiri counties, na kwa masuala yote yanayoathiri counties uamuzi huwa ni wa kupiga kura wa zile delegation 47 ambazo ziko katika bunge hili. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, swala la wewe kukata kwamba swala hili halikutimizwa ama swala la quorum halikutimia katika bunge la Kericho, na bunge la kaunti ya Kericho, Mheshimiwa Speaker, hapo utakuwa umekeuka katiba na vile vile pia umekeuka kanuni zetu za bunge hili, ambapo zinasema kwa masuala ya uamuzi iwe ni kwa sababu ni masuala ya delegations ambazo ziko katika bunge hili. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Senator Kericho Tabitha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me also the opportunity. And it's true, I agree with my other senators. There is an issue when it comes to the law, that is Section 33 of County Government Acts, to really verify and know whether the numbers that the MCAs that approved this motion, whether they met the threshold. But I'm lucky because I happen to have continued with my maths, where you reach a point where maths and science go together. So when it comes now to 31.3, the science math says there is no half person, so it should have been 32. The 0.3 is always becomes a whole person, which it should be 32. But now the other big question is, if this motion is returned back to the county assembly, how sure are we that it will not come back within a week? So I think we are now again not very sure whether we are going to save or hurt the people that brought this motion here. But it is true, we've not met the threshold. It should have been 32, not 31. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Sifuna. Senator Eddy, certainly you cannot rise on a point of order. There is no